Hello everyone, welcome back to my tutorial on starting a new SimCity in SimCity 4. I'm sorry. Last week we focused on building our main city, which was mainly residential and commercial, with strips of industrial zones at the edges of the city. Today we shall first build our neighbouring city, which will be mainly filled with industrial estates. And you ask, why do we need to have a neighbouring city? Well, a neighbouring city will help a lot in boosting trade and growth between cities. You can try to imagine in real life how cities in a country interact with each other. For instance, there will be trade between different cities on different types of industries that they specialize in, and there will also be movement of people, movement of labor, and people will be moving to different cities to live, to work, and also to play in. And right now, as you can see, besides building the industrial zones, I have zoned a small piece of land for residential and commercial zones. This to prevent my city from entirely turning into a industrial only region. However, I will still be focusing my attention on the main city. So as you can see, my city down here is not really planned very well, but I'll still choose to put a few bus stops around this region so that when the city starts developing, the traffic conditions wouldn't be so bad. And it is very important for us to build bus stops in our industries so that when we go back to our main city, our citizens in our main city that I was building the last time will be able to take buses to these new industries that I've developed. And right now we are also zoning water pipes and power supplies, and we will also need to build a landfill. And finally we can kickstart the city pretty quickly. And I have doubled the speed of this video so that I won't bore you all. So essentially I took 5 minutes to create this city, and hopefully it grows really well. You can watch all the industry just exploding all at once, and all the residential houses are filled up. You'll realize that when you build this neighbouring city, the demand of all zones will be greater than that when you first started the other city. This is because perhaps some residents of the other city help to stimulate the demand of these zones here, and it will work for the other way around as well. Alright, my population has hit 500, so I can build a mayor's house. Now that the city is growing pretty well, I can share you some of my experiences on creating a new series on SimCity videos. Actually, if you haven't realized, I'm pretty bad at holding a good conversation, let alone creating this new commentary on SimCity 4. But I figured out that this will be a really new challenge and experiment for me, probably even a new meaning of life as I create this new series of videos, hopefully which will engage and entertain all of you to learn and play about SimCity. And I hope my humble opinions about this game will help to enlighten and help some of you all. I hope you all don't mind my accent. And now we are going to save this city and go back to our main city. Welcome back to this city of slums. As you can see, our city is in a pretty pitiful position. The mayor's rating is steady, and I'm checking out all the graphs that help me to analyze my city. As I explained last week, remember to check these graphs regularly because they will help you to plan and further develop your city. And we shall watch the city slowly grow Now my city is growing pretty well with a good budget balance, and that's the most important thing when you play SimCity, because you'll need money to sustain the city, and if you run out of funds, then you will be in big trouble. Alright, now I'm checking my taxes, and you can adjust the taxes here and there a bit. Wow, and these are the ordinances. You can slowly read about each and every one of them, but as you can see, I have selected the legalized gambling and those ordinances on preventing pollution. And now I shall build a graveyard in the city. Alright. The city is growing, and I really wonder why are there so many redevelopments in the city. I think our school is working fairly well here. Whenever the education levels of the city increase, the land value of the region will increase. You can check out the capacity of the school. It's almost reaching its maximum capacity, so I shall now stop the gameplay and I shall build a new school, a large elementary school. Oops, I placed it at the center. Never mind, I shall place some shops around. Perhaps the students can go shopping after studying. Alright, I shall convert this area into a commercial zone. Well, one of the things when you play SimCity is that you have fun planning out and designing your city, so you can actually imagine what the Sims are doing when you place civics around your zones. And make sure your school has sufficient capacity. You will need to run the meter for a month before the school children comes in. Alright, university has come in. It's pretty important to have a university in your city because this will accelerate the education growth of your city, and you will need to place the university as soon as possible, even though it's very expensive. Alright, I'll plop it in an empty piece of grassland near the outskirts of my city. And remember to check out the capacity and funding of a university and lower it to about 400 students or so. Now I shall connect a main road to the city so that we can allow the students to come in. Alright, we can build a radio station to probably give some propaganda on how great am I as a mayor. Okay, the university is doing really well. Remember to zone water pipes. Alright, the university is well watered. I hope they don't waste my water supplies. And check out all my dirty industries that are causing a lot of pollution. Check out the yellow plumes of smoke covering my city. And you can read the news from now and then from all the advisors telling you what to do. Build hospitals, build schools, I don't know. But I just want to remind all of you that the last thing that you should build is a hospital, because now that your city has grown pretty big, I must say that hospitals are really very expensive investment that can only be afforded when your city grows to when your city is more developed, I would say, because all the houses and the offices and the high wealth industries will be able to afford such a huge expenditure. Alright, now I shall build a water treatment plant because I realized that the water pollution is too high and there's a lot of things coming in. Alright, I'll need to build a new power plant because I have insufficient power for the city. So there's always a need to save some money for this type of emergencies in your city. For instance, if you have no money to build a new coal power plant, then you'll be in deep trouble because the coal power plant will be running excess capacity. Now I shall build my coal power plant a bit further away from the city, although the industry area is already very polluted. And remember to zone the roads and the power lines. Now the city is fully plugged in. Check out the power usage and check out the traffic volumes, check out the power, the garbage, and our garbage capacity is almost filling up. And since we have some extra income, we can check out all these missions that you can drive vehicles in. So you can just click on a vehicle and start driving in your city. I shall show some of these missions later. These type of missions can help you to gain some funds for your city growth, or you can increase your mayor approval so that your Sims love you more. Now I'm building a recycling plant so that I'm able to handle the garbage needs of the population. As your population grows, you need more landfills and recycling centers. As you can see, the garbage is almost filling up because the green line is touching the blue line. And by building a recycling center, you can slow down this growth of garbage so that not all the garbage gets dumped into your precious city land, but some of them is recycled. I hope you all can understand what I'm saying, because the last time I checked the Google Translate, it sounded like I'm talking gibberish. Now I'm really bored. Let's check out the large elementary school. Alright, this video is going to be very long, so brace yourself for it. Alright, now that I have nothing to do and lots of money, it's time to expand our city. I hope you are ready for it. And this time we shall zone our city southwards, because I realized that the two edges are filled with really polluting industries that I wouldn't like to zone my new houses in. So I shall first demarcate the area that I'm going to develop with roads, and I shall build a neighbouring connection with the university at the center of my new development, my new residential zone. Okay, now my water pollution levels are down because I built a water treatment plant. Now you may ask why I built a water treatment plant in this specific location beside a university. This is because the water treatment plant is strategically located in the middle of the city, so that you will be able to reduce the water pollution of the industries at both edges of my city. And the water treatment plant has actually a pretty large but limited radius of effective area around the city. So it is important for you to build the water treatment plants as near as possible to your industries to have a good effect on reducing water pollution. But for this city, the water pollution levels are still very high at about 300 or so. So this is pretty worrying. I think a big problem for many cities is that the pollution levels caused by the industries are sky high, but yet they are important for us to develop this type of dirty industries so that we can create jobs for our citizens. So it's really a dilemma here. And what am I doing here in this new residential project? I'm actually doing a pretty ambitious project. I'm actually beautifying the area. Now I'm really placing a lot of recreational facilities for my new citizens. I'm building lots of parks, community gardens, basketball courts, playgrounds to grow my city. You can place these facilities at the center of these square zones that I have formed. and then zone the houses all around the recreational facilities so that the Sims will be able to enjoy it. This has a really nice effect of beautifying the city. As you'll see later, the neighborhoods will be really pretty. And as you can see, I have specifically zoned many types of rectangular and square plots so that I have lots of variations in my city. You can experiment around and see what you like. You can build many types of recreational facilities, and I have decided some places will be commercial regions, so I have built flower gardens and plazas, while others will be residential regions with gardens and parks. So right now I'm zoning a lot of parks, and I hope you can understand what I'm saying right now. Is my articulation really that bad? I'm wondering why Google Translate makes my speech so horrendous. All the subtitles, the captions are wrong. Maybe I'm not that talented at commentary after all. Oh gosh, so many parts to build. And if you haven't realized, I'm recording this right after I've actually built the city, so that it will be easier for me to record and edit accordingly. And I'm viewing this at double speed from my movie maker, which is really very blur, really very pixelized, so it could be quite difficult for me to really see what am I doing. But don't worry, I know I'm building bus stops now. And remember I told you last time that you can space out the bus stops regularly at intervals. You can experiment yourself as well. Where you want to put the bus stops, you can put it in a regular pattern, or you can spray it out haphazardly like mine. And this is done. We shall zone the residential zones now. Check out how the residential zones are covering all the recreational facilities that are created. Remember to change your zones regularly to zone out the relevant commercial areas as well. And now, as you can see, I'm changing to medium residential occasionally, so that there will be some big buildings growing. You can hold the control button while you zone the medium residential zones, and you should only do this when there's a piece of land that is at least 2x2 or 2x3, because otherwise it won't be so effective, and it will be cheaper to zone light residential. And by mixing around medium and light residential, you have this special effect of creating variation in your city. As you can see here, I'm switching back and forth between medium and light residential, and I hope this works really well. And I have a problem here because my funds are running out really quickly as I zone, so I may need to take out a loan later, which I'll show you. Don't worry, loans are really cheap if you take them out moderately. They are very important to grow your city if you don't have enough money or you need it urgently for some purposes. And when you zone these areas, remember not to scroll your cursor fully around the square area, because there's this problem with SimCity that doesn't allow you to fully cover the zones properly. Like, how do I say? When you zone a zone and you do not really check out the arrows where they are pointing, some of them will have problems when you build this type of parks at the center, because they'll be pointing right at the parks, so there will be no connection to the roads, and you have problems later because these type of zones will not start growing even though they are beside the road. because these zones are not pointed correctly to the roadsides. So you must zone your zones carefully and watch where the arrows are going. In any case, when your city starts growing, you will see some regions are not growing and they will show the car sign, which means there is no transport connection, which you will see later. Now I finished zoning my water pipes. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining all this well enough. This is something really new to me, and doing a commentary that is 40 minutes long is pretty tiring actually. Alright, finally my city has started growing, and I shall save it because the last time I made this city, the whole game crashes, which I'm really very angry at. Alright, so now my budget's ready though, and this is a potential issue, but don't worry, this is really a huge gamble by me, but when the city grows, your income will be more than enough to cover the expenses, as long as you don't build any civics in the city. As you have realized, I've only built these recreational facilities around the city and not any schools or hospitals or police station or fire station or anything. All this will cost a lot of money, and you would have a large problem, a huge problem, balancing the city budget as I am right now. So only develop these areas when you have enough money. Now as you can see, there are many car signs with the circle. What do you call that? I think my English is really horrendous right now. Alright, the city income and expenses are balancing out. And more about myself as you watch this city grow. I'm currently serving my national service in Singapore right now, so I'm actually doing all these videos during the weekend when I'm free. Alright, you can build a small stadium and lots of news are coming, bombarding us in all directions. And yes, I'm serving the army of Singapore, so I do not really have much time to make these videos, and I must say my English has really deteriorated, as seen by my horrible articulation. Hope you don't mind. I still hope that all of you will enjoy this video and gain some valuable insights. Alright, there's a fire. Click the dispatch fire truck button and watch the fire truck come. Alright, now you're rescuing the fire. You can actually cheat by pressing the mission button and searching for the fire engine. The good thing is that the fire engine will already be parked at the scene of the fire, and you can just do right click to save the fire, and you will also earn some mayor approval for doing so. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, it's alright, I'll try to explain it more in detail the next time round. And as you can see, my RCI ticker is showing a consistent strong demand in industries and residential. Actually, I've zoned too much commercial areas. And now I'm checking my fire coverage. As you can see, my income growth is really good. My budget is really well balanced, so I can actually afford a fire station. After surveying the area, I've found the center of the new development area where I can build my fire station. And now there's enough fire coverage for the residential areas. I shall play a mission on a firefighting truck. Oh, if you haven't realized, my computer is really laggy. Even though this game is considered really old, but I think graphics wise, especially for a large city, I think it is still quite demanding. or probably because my laptop is really old, but nevertheless I still love this game, and I shall do all I can to show you all how to play it. Alright, I have reached the first house and done my right clicking by spraying water on the cat. Now this mission is about going to houses and spraying water at the cats, supposedly to help the mad scientist, the villain Dr. Wu, and he will give you $20,000 if you help him to reach all the houses and spray all the cats down. They are supposedly terrified by his high pitch, I don't know, radar experiments or something like that. Alright, now I'm driving past my mayor's house, driving recklessly. Hope no one knows I'm the mayor. Oh, check out my city. You can actually drive around the city when you have time. Enjoy how the city looks like. Look at all the little things and perhaps even remedy some problems in your zoning or traffic or otherwise. As you can see, my traffic here is really heavy. And if you haven't realized, all the cars around me are disappearing. This is a cheat that I found out. You can repeatedly press enter and enter when you are driving so that all the cars will disappear. Enter is activating the siren, and this will move all the cars away from your fire truck when you are doing the mission, and pressing enter again will turn off the siren. And by repeatedly pressing enter, you can make all the cars disappear magically. Alright, I'm scrolling all my graphs really quickly in a quick check of my city. Now is the time to grow some industries that will definitely provide me with lots of income. If you haven't realized, I've zoned it really far away from my residential areas because of the fears of pollution in the city, which has really caused a lot of problems to me. But I guess for a new city, pollution is really nothing new. You just have to handle it very carefully. Alright, I've forgotten to put power lines. Remember to put your bus stops. And now the industries are finally growing. I have raised the tax rates of the dirty industries so that I can encourage the next wave of manufacturing industries to grow. Unlike dirty industries, manufacturing industries actually provide more jobs with less pollution to the city, which will help your city grow, encourage more high wealth residents in your city. And what am I doing now is I'm checking the roads and the houses for traffic conditions. This is something new in SimCity 4 Deluxe, and I'm checking out all the data, all the mayor rating, crime. Oh, there's a lot of crime happening. You can check them out slowly when you have time. All this will help you to manage your city really well. And I realized I just planted a large fire station, so I'm converting to a small fire station in my city. Large fire station will cost a lot more in my city, and I need to build 2 fire stations to cover at least the residential areas of my city. Never mind the industries because they are too small, and I will build more of these police and fire stations where I have time. And yes, I'm building more industries to create manufacturing growth, as I said. Now I'm taking a really drastic effort to remove the dirty industries by dezoning them, although it's not really recommended, but this will really help you to reduce the pollution of the city. And remember to zone your water pipes. By dezoning the land nearest to the residential zone, I will help to reduce the pollution of the city by quite a bit. Even though the pollution levels are counted really high, it's still in the hundreds, where actually a good pollution level will be a 2-digit value at most. Now I'm building a city jail so that my crime levels will fall, and you must adjust your jail funding to a really low level of around 30 or so that you won't spend too much money housing the criminals. And I've just upgraded my garbage capacity so that I have enough landfill for new garbage to come in, because my city is growing really quickly and I've forgotten to zone more landfills. And I'm checking out each of the zones, checking out the growth of my city, the graph. Oh yes, there's some manufacturing industries growing and a little bit of high-tech industries, but I think high-tech industries will come really later. And as I was sharing just now, manufacturing industries will help to grow the city and encourage high-wealth residents to settle here so that new skyscraper houses will grow, and it will also help to facilitate commercial offices growth in the city. And you can check out the fireworks coming up on special days, including the 4th of July and the 1st of January if I'm not wrong. And yes, manufacturing industries will help to grow the city in many ways. Manufacturing industries not only help to encourage high-wealth residents, but they also help to encourage commercial services growth in the city, and high-wealth industries in the future will help to grow commercial offices in the neighbouring region if I'm not wrong. So industries have a really profound effect of growing the houses and the offices in the city. Alright, as you can see, because of my large medium residential zones, some high rises are already growing in my city, and new medium wealth residents are settling in my city. There is a substantial growth and demand for medium and high wealth residences. Alright, I'm checking out the taxes. In this case, what am I doing is that I'm raising the taxes for the commercial offices so that I'm able to stifle the demand of the high wealth commercial offices. You may ask me, why am I doing that? Why am I so stupid to stop the offices from growing? Now, this is because, as I've shared in the other video, I will want to stop offices from growing until my population has grown to at least 100,000 and there is substantial demand for new offices. And when I'm finally having a really strong demand, I will zone a new commercial region, a commercial city center, as I've shown in another video that you can check out. And at that time I will be able to lower the taxes, and this will help to grow a new city center where all the offices are located at the region, and it will have a really pretty effect on the growth of the city. Right now I'm zoning more dense industries so that I can remove the power lines and help to grow more industries to stimulate the growth of the city. And we shall watch as the industry slowly grow. And as you can see, there are pretty lot of chemical tanks in these new zones that I've zoned. These are the key players in the manufacturing industries. I can just imagine all the propane tanks and all the oil industries or operating in the manufacturing industries as compared to the dirty industries, as you see here, or the little buildings which cause a horrible amount of pollution. As you can see here, only the center of my city is safe from these levels of pollution. The red zones denote a really bad pollution as compared to the yellow zones, and finally the colorless zones. And you can see that there are some high rises in my city already. This is a good sign that the city is growing pretty well, and all these are really possible if you dedicate time and effort to playing the city, and you will derive this immense amount of satisfaction as you watch your city grow, watch all the cars bustling by, as you probably watch over some sort of helicopter scrolling around the city, and you can check out all the houses that have grown here and there. Now that the city is growing really well and I have nothing much to say, and I shall explain to you some of the things in SimCity. Right now we can see a lot of supposedly blue buttons hovering around our city. These are the you drive it missions that you can do. For instance, I did one of the missions just now to earn some money to spray water on the cats to earn $20,000 from Dr. Wu. Usually in this type of missions, you can choose to earn money or you can earn mayor approval. So it's up to you. These missions really help you to grow your city even better and perhaps enjoy a supposedly more ground view of the city instead of just hovering around the city like a area shot taken from a helicopter. But the bad thing about all these drive it missions that it is still done using the same camera, and so it still looks like it's been taken from the air. Just that I would say the missions are still quite interesting and engaging for anyone to play. And now I'm just browsing through my city, looking around. What should I do now? And I have a new mission in a police car. You can try to earn some money, or you can perhaps catch a robber. So I will choose the catching a robber because I have a lot of money now. Now this mission is pretty interesting. You are driving a police car using the arrow keys as shown on the top right hand corner of the screen. You need to turn left and right at the relevant junctions that you have created, and you can see all this horrendous traffic building around the city. It's best to play these missions in the early hours of the morning or in the evening, but I haven't really shown you all the day and night simulation cycle. You can even type cheat codes to change the timing. And to go back to this mission, this is about catching a robber. You need to look at the map to see where the red dot is. If you unsuccessfully catch a robber and let it go, he would move out to the neighbouring city and you have lost. And by clicking the shift button back and forth, you can try to lock your vehicle on the road, or you can navigate freely around the city, which I just did, roaming around the grassland freely. This is a pretty thrilling mission. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna catch you. No. I think it's most important that you bang the vehicle to stop it from moving. You need to slow it down, so that's the element of challenge here. Now I need to go one big round just to catch it. I hope he doesn't run away. Oh, I'm so bad at this game. You need to look out for your vehicle life. If your vehicle turns all red, that means your vehicle is going to explode and malfunction, and you would have lost the mission. So do not try to bang your vehicle too oftenly on these public buses, cars, and all those crazy vehicles moving around. Alright, he's coming out of the road. Stop him. I'm gonna get him. No. Yes, I've got the carjacker. I have unlocked the deluxe police station, which I have done so really long ago, and now there's the fire in the city, so I shall dispatch a fire truck. Now I'm sorry if I haven't really explained all the little nitty-gritty details of where all the buttons are. I hope y'all can experiment it out. And you can cheat by pressing the mission of the firefighter truck. When you have a fire in the city, then you'll be allowed to control the truck yourself and extinguish the fire. This will help you to boost your mayor approval, and a high mayor approval probably means that, I don't know, I'm speculating, but I think the demand of the various zones in the city will be better. And this has been my tutorial this week on growing my city. My city has grown quite a bit. I hope you all like my tutorial, and please like and subscribe if you like it. Please give comments on how should I improve. I know my articulation sucks and so, and hope you liked it. Like. Okay, thanks, bye.